attitude in the first minutes for Atletico Madrid in this complicated game, because during the past weeks, past days, everyone was talking about Diego Costa, his words at Camp Nou Stadium, the fact that he will miss the rest of the season for this ban of 8 games, and talking about who will be in, who will be out. And Simone was saying we had to focus on that game, we had to focus in end well the season, trying to finish second on the table, and if Barca start to lose games, that looks really strange, be there. And the first minutes, Atletico Madrid in control of the ball, the position, trying to attack. And Celta de Vigo, it seems that he wants to recover the ball and attack with the spaces, despite that if someone really needs the 3 points today, it's Celta de Vigo more than Atletico Madrid.
Of course, as I mentioned in the build-up, Celta now outside of the bottom 3. They're only 2 places above it, lying 5th from bottom. And they are indeed only 2 points above it, of course, on 32 points. Below them, Valladolid in 17th on 30. Villarreal in 18th on 30. Here's Rodrigo trying to lay it across to Vitolo. It's cut out though by Hugo Mayo. His misplaced clearance gives Atletico de Madrid the throw-in on the far side. Now a foul by the Celta captain. So Atletico with the chance for a set piece. They have scored in each of their last 16 home games in La Liga, have Atletico. So these supporters well used to seeing their team finding the back of the net. There's the free kick taken quickly. Griezmann whips it across the face of goal, but nobody in red and white reacting quickly enough. There is Francisco Montero, who will become a familiar figure in La Liga. He does wear those glasses as a protective measure. So the throw-in to be taken down below us. Lucas Olasa, an arrival in the January transfer window on loan from Boca Juniors.
It's a left back with a strong personality. In fact, he managed to give 2 assists in this first month. Also one of the players that start to feel more comfortable as the season goes by. Never it's easy when you land in Europe from South America in the first weeks without experience. But he's starting to play better, the left back. Despite what we're saying, the first minute it's all about Atletico Madrid with the attitude of the local side.
It is, and here is Griezmann trying to skip his way past Olasa.
We're talking about Olasa, and there he closed the door to Antoine Griezmann, understanding the movement of the Frenchman, putting his body behind, so a good movement there of the defender of Celta de Vigo.
Of course, Olasa provided the cross for Maxi Gomez's goal as Celta came from 2 goals down to beat Villarreal. He had been responsible, Olasa, for, got to say, no other word, no other phrase for it, poor defending against Carl Toko Ekambi in the first half of that game when the Cameroon striker just eased him aside, but he made up for it with that wonderful cross. And Maxi Gomez, no doubt, will be hoping for something similar here today. High ball.
That game against Villarreal was a turning point for Celta. Suddenly you are 2-0 down at home in the bottom of the table, and suddenly something changed in halftime. The first goal of Iago Aspas, and then they managed to win that game. Since that, in the last 2 games, they managed to win 7 points, playing some good football. And if we look at the calendar, this game is important, but the next one for Celta de Vigo at home is against Girona. Girona is playing tomorrow at home against Villarreal. If Girona lose that game against Villarreal and they go to Balaidos, also in danger of falling down to the relegation zone. So it's a lot of teams outside the relegation zone, the likes of Levante, of Girona, obviously Valladolid. They need to win games soon, or they will find themselves in problems. The next game, Celta Girona, can be another final for Escriba's side.
Of course, while many have been saying as well that Huesca were out of it, they were finished, and it may well still be the case, but the fact is they are only 5 points from safety. 2 wins, a sudden spurt from the team from El Alcoraz, and suddenly it could become a lot tighter. 7 teams looking at the table, I would say, involved, as you mentioned, Tony, up to Girona, down to Huesca, any 3 from 7 at the moment, it looks like, and with so many games coming up between all of those in the remaining 7 weeks of the season. Of course, also, as you mentioned, Diego Simeone and a It's been in the media all week as well, along with the ban for Diego Costa, the fact that Simeone now perhaps is already planning for next season. Not that he hasn't been anyway. But I did read as well that Felipe Luis was linked with a move back to Brazil, and he said, well, I've actually received a one-year contract offer from Atletico. He's often one of the names included when the media talk about players who will definitely be leaving Atletico, but maybe not. Here come the home side with Griezmann.
Also, Atletico Madrid, in the past seasons, they signed incredible players and also made new contracts for players like Antoine Griezmann. So they are paying high salaries, and they need also to sell some players. That's why maybe they sell Lucas Hernandez, or they will allow Diego Godin to go to Italian league. But you cannot be selling all the players. You need also someone to stay. So it's a little bit of it's like Simeone is getting nervous, saying, okay, if these people is going out, who will bring me to me for the next season? Because we need to perform better next season. And that's why it's like for Atletico Madrid, it seems like even the season is over.